Good morning. Good morning and welcome back. Today is the 22nd of July 2026. I'm going to go through my pre-market prep. Before we do, we'd like to see what news could move the market. And today we don't have much really. We've got crude oil inventories at 10:30, so beware of you in oil at that time. And then at 3 p.m. President Trump speaks. So there may be a few bits of movement to the market around by that time. I'm just checking anything else. I think that's it really, nothing really. Okay, so good morning to 212, welcome back. I'm just getting my charts ready. We're going to start with a daily time frame. And as you can see, we're not doing much at all. We're smack bang inside that daily range. We're smack bang inside this weekly range. We don't seem to be going far at all. Yesterday, well, a few days ago, we closed below the 50, 2 days in a row. And then we closed yesterday strong over the 50. And now we're back down on that 50 moving average. So it just seems a little bit like there's no real decision what's going to happen. Have we got any earnings coming up? Any big earnings? And Google tonight, by the looks of it. Tesla, is that right? Is that on the 22nd? Just open up. So maybe we're just waiting for these earnings. Intel tomorrow. Yeah, so Google and Tesla tonight. So maybe we might see a bit of market movement, who knows? But we do need to get out of this really small range we've been sitting in. And we've been sitting in that range now since the start of July, end of June. We've been sitting in this range since April. We haven't quite broken out of it. When we first retested that area there, we came back into it. So it was that end of April, beginning of May. So it's starting to get a little bit on the tedious side. We want to see some movement. We want to see either breakout over this range or come back down below this range. But we can only play what we can play and make the most of what we've got in front of us. We are coming into the sun lump, so things will slow down a little tiny bit. So let's just go over daily volume. Yesterday was a green day with about the same size candle as the previous day, but notice the lack of volume in that candle compared to the previous top and tail day. That's a sign of weakness, that candle, big top and tail. That was all, that is just showing that we had sellers drive that price back down. So generally, I'm still neutral, maybe slight bearish bias, but I'm going to remain neutral and I'm going to be scalping because we are smack bang inside the middle of yesterday's range and the middle of the weekly range as well. So there's not really much we'll look at. RSI is around the midpoint. We do have a big volume shelf above, which might be why we're struggling to break out over that area, and that is around 75.35, 75.50. That's an area we've been talking about for some time. And then we do have I wouldn't say a low volume node, because we do got a lot of volume there, and we do got a lot of volume. We do have a lot of volume there, but we do have a lot higher volume node sitting around this area here, and that's 74, 77 area. So bear those areas in mind as we drop down into the hourly. So on the hourly chart, we were looking at this big head and shoulders pattern, then potentially there's another head and shoulders pattern here. We broke that trend line, and potentially we are looking at an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Depends if we think it's the end of this move down. I'm only interested if it's a end of a move. We've barely had a move down, so I'm probably not going to pay too much attention to it. But areas on watch, I do quite like seeing, or I really want to see it break out over yesterday's high or yesterday's low. So we had a little bit of a bottom tail candle in the last 15 minutes. So here we go. So this is going to be my plan. Originally, yesterday's low was around pre-market. Yesterday's low was around pre-market lows of that same area, but we've had that bottom tail candle just pushed it down a bit. So for me, if we break pre-market low, come back and retest that zone, We really need to get below that 7,500. So I'm not interested. This has probably worked out well actually. I don't want to go short into pre-market low. I want to break and retest a pre-market low short to target that previous day's pivot around 74.82. And the same for pre-market high. I want to see it break out above pre-market high, come back and retest for the long to break this little bit of a downtrend we've had since yesterday. Obviously we can keep an eye on yesterday's high, 75.50 area. That's a key area we've been watching. We've been talking about area for bounces. We bounced there, we bounced a few days ago, and then we rejected it on this day, rejected it again yesterday. Key area, remember we talked about this. Hopefully somebody took these trades. And then we can keep an eye on that 75.53, 75.55 for a rejection. Keep an eye on 74.82 for the bounce as well. Again, 7,500 to 7,510, we can probably watch that area also for a bounce. Pre-market low, yesterday's low. So that's a dual area to watch. What I mean by that is we can either watch it for a bounce with strength from buyers. If we have lack of buying, we can look for a break and retest short under 7,500. And I think that's all I'm watching for. We do have this trend line. If we pull back up to 75.20, maybe into that 75.30, we could look for the rejection back down to continue this hourly downtrend. But it's tough. It's really tough at the moment. We've got this volume shaft. We're sitting right on this volume shaft right now. Big area of confidence here as well. So this 75.10 is a key area. We did have bottom tail, bottom tail, bottom tail there. We came in and bounced on the area. Another bottom tail back in that zone again in the pre-market put in the last 15 minutes. So let's keep an eye on 75.10, 7500 for a bounce. If we lose that area, look for a short. If we break over pre-market, I look for a long. And then we can look for bounces at 74.82 and then a rejection at 75.50. That's pretty much all I'm watching for. With the ORB today, what do I want to see on the ORB? Ideally, the ORB takes out yesterday's low and pre-market low, or the opening range, 15 minute. Then I'm looking for a breaking candle below pre-market low. That could be an ORB breakdown, and then on increased volume, and then I'll be taking the low of that candle with my stop at the high. Well, that candle's got to be below the midpoint as well. And then I can look for a break and then a retest back on that level. Let's go back over yesterday's ORBs. I did okay yesterday. I did 2 ORBs yesterday, 2 plays. The first one, I took this breaking candle. Unfortunately, it whipped me out for a stop, which is fine. And then I took a break and retest of the ORB. And I think I waited. I didn't get in here. I waited. No, I did get in there actually. The break and retest was this candle here I took. So the same candle what got whipped me out. I went long just above it. We didn't break the midpoint, so I was happy to take it. My stop was there. We came close to being whipped out, and that's why I like to give myself a larger stop on these plays. And then I literally got out on the high of the day, and it was a decent trade. So really profitable on this trade. I think that's my exit up here actually. It was exactly in that area. So, and also if you took the ORB on increased volume, would have got out on about 2 hours as well. So it was a winning day for that one. And I obviously had I scalped live as well yesterday, and that was okay. I think I had 1 losing, 1 winning, and it worked out a decent green day yesterday. So I think I've been green all week. Can't quite remember. What day is it today? Wednesday? Possibly not on Monday. I'll need to look at my calendar. I don't really look at my P&L that often these days. But that was a decent trade yesterday, and I'm looking for something similar today. Back to my levels. Right, back onto the hourly. Let's go through SPY next. SPY, you could also say this is a big head and shoulders pattern on the big hourly. You know, even though we're looking at it on the bigger picture there, you could say that's another one there. Could say that's, you know, I'm not a big fan of it being so tight at the top here, but you know, we are putting in a left shoulder head, a right shoulder, and we could use a neckline. I'm not really a fan of it. I prefer this head and shoulders pattern. This is more uniform. But anyway, on SPY, I don't want any shorts until I break pre-market low. We can watch 743, big area of confidence and a gap fill potentially. Watch for that gap fill today. If we get over pre-market high, we're clearing this point of control. So look for a break over 747. Target can be that 750 or yesterday's high, and that's pretty much it for SPY. SPX, psychological numbers, look where we are. We are right around that 7,500 yesterday. We will be opening probably closer to 7,450 area. So we're smack bang inside yesterday's range again. Psychological number is 7,400. We've got previous days low, previous day's high. There's a lot of action, a lot of confidence in that area as well. So this could act as a resistance area, 75.10, and then 7,500, that entire zone actually. So keep an eye on this entire zone, 7,500, 7,510. Look how much there's confidence. We rejected it, then we gapped up through it, came back, we held it, lost it, pushed back up, bounced, came close to bouncing, bounced again, lost it, rejected it, and then we rejected it again. So 7,500 is a key number. Don't want to go long into that. So if the market's coming into 7,500, I won't be looking for longs until we get above that area on ES and on SPX. Nasdaq, this is showing relative weakness today. It's down 0.89%, whereas ES is up 0.89% or 0.83% or whatever it was. Oh no, my mistake. ES is actually red as well. I was looking at SPY. This one's already cleared yesterday's low, so it's showing relative weakness over ES. So for me, I like the break and retest a pre-market low. It's also breaking a psychological number at 29,000. So while we're around that area, we can only watch for longs, look for a bounce first. If we get significant weakness, look for a break and retest short. We can target the previous day's low and the previous day's low. If we're looking for rejection after a bit of a push up, look for yesterday's high. That's around this big volume shelf. We had a pivot there and a bit of a reaction in that place. So 29,300, we can watch for rejection. If we can break above pre-market high, I like it for a break and retest long into that area. Otherwise, keep an eye on 2,900 for a bounce. Otherwise, look for a pre-market low break and retest as to be below 29,000. That's the only plays I like. QQQ, putting in that bit of a trend there. Break below pre-market low, will be breaking it. That's also 700, psychological number. Little baby volume shelf. If I zoom out, it's probably a bigger volume shelf, but it's a gap area as well. So watch this. We've got a gap fill potentially down at 695. So for me, 700, look for a bounce. If we lose that area, look for a break and retest short. ORBs above pre-market high into yesterday's high. Yesterday's high is a massive big volume shelf. Look at that volume shelf. Pivot, and we rejected it yesterday. So keep an eye on 710 down to 708 for a rejection. Next up is oil, which is looking pretty good today. We've been talking about this all week, and it's still working. If you're in this on a swing, good for you. Brilliant play. That's the area we like for the swing, the break, and then the retest back into it. 80 was the area to get. As for day trade, we've got $90 above, and we've got this volume shelf. So keep an eye on that area for a potential reaction. If we break over pre-market high, I like a break and retest long, but I'll be chasing it by that point. Look how far extended we are from the 50 moving average. So we've been hugging this 50 for some time. We don't get far away. Here we got far away and we caught up with it. Here we got far away and we sold off to it. Here we got far away and we caught up with it. So potentially we will catch up with it at some point. So let's keep an eye on a bounce from a pullback. So if we get back down to 85, we'll be testing yesterday's high, and potentially that moving average will be up in that area as well. So keep an eye on a bounce at 85. That's probably all I like at the moment. Don't really like shorts. Gold, look at this. Finally, after months and months and months, we've finally broken this trend line, which is great. So this is potentially getting set up for a trend play, for a swing play now. So for me, the only time I get into it for a swing is if we pull back down and retest this upper side of this trend line. Potentially yesterday's high is an area to watch, 4,081. If we could even keep an eye on a retest of 4,000. We're still on the upper side of that trend line in a few days time. But 4,000, watch for a bounce. We've now broken market structure, and we've been holding this downtrend for a long time. Here was the break and retest. We spoke about it yesterday. and it looks good. Look at that for a breakout over the SSI. So I like a long if we pull back down into 4,081. It's a volume shelf. It's an area of confidence. It's got a pivot there, pivot there, pivot there. It kind of tried to break out, then broke out, came back in, it held that area. You can clearly see that area of confidence. So if we pull back down to here, I'm going to look for a potential long. Really want to see it come back to the moving averages. That's why I want to go long then. There's no reason why you couldn't go long now if it's a swing trade. You can target 4,200, 4,300, and then 4,500 area. So there's a couple of areas so we can watch. But I do like this at the moment. It's looking good. Double bottom as well. So you can see this double bottom, we're kind of in, held it, bounced, broke trend line. Then we're waiting for confirmation basically. So this looks good for a swing long. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. I'm looking for a bit of a pullback. Let's see how we get on today. I will put an alert in about there, and I will put an alert in back down here as well. So that's gold RTY. That's our trend line there. We've kind of held that area there as well. That's that 2950 area. And now we've broken trend line. We've come back to retest it. So I like it for a long, but only if we can get over 3,000. So 3,000 break and retest long. Otherwise, we're holding this 3,000. Look at that volume shelf. Look at this massive area of confidence. Pivots high, pivots high, pivots low, pivot high, and we're back up there again. So 3,000 is a key area. Look for rejection into that. Look for a break and retest long over that, or wait for us to break down under this 2950 area. YM. That's our trend line, which we're kind of holding. We could say we've got a bigger trend line there. So if we can break over 52,800, then look for a break and retest long into 53. If we lose pre-market low, we're close to that at the moment. We can look for a short down into 52, and I think that's it really. And then finally, Bitcoin. I love these plays. I just love putting these trend lines in. Look how good that is. I'll say there. We broke out. We retested this trend line a few days ago, and we broke out. So for me, I'm looking for a long. I've been adding to my Bitcoin this week, so I'm gonna probably add a bit more today. This is that key area 64. We've been hovering around that area for some time. We're not out of that Bitcoin downtrend, by the way. And if you tune into some of my previous pre-markets, we talk about this Bitcoin cycle where we have 1,000 days of it moving up, then we have 365 days of it selling off, then 1,000 days of it moving up, a year of it selling off, 1,000 days going up, and then a year selling off. I'm not quite sure. That's not what I've just drawn, but that's a general idea of it. If you do a search online for it, you'll see loads of good diagrams. So maybe we're not at the end of this crypto winter, or whatever you want to call it. 35,000 I've heard has been touted as a potential area. If it is, then I don't see why. I can't see why it won't get down there, because look at the volume shelf down there. So that's probably why they're looking at that area. And we're still in this downtrend, so there's nothing to get too excited about yet. I don't mind adding little tiny bits down here, but we could just come back and just trail down into that zone. But as soon as we break this trend line, I'm going to go a little bit heavier into it. Depends where you want to draw the trend line. You can have a couple of trend lines about there. So for me, probably getting over 75,000, coming back down to 70,000, and then that'll be that inverse head and shoulders pattern. Remember, we had this head and shoulders pattern at the top. We had a close one near the top as well. So also look the same at the bottom. But I'm happy just to add a little tiny bit right now. Day trades for today. If we break pre-market low, I like it short. We are breaking down and closing below this 50. If we hold above pre-market, I like it long, and that's probably the only plays I like. Keep an eye on 64 for the bounce. Keep an eye on 70, 67 for the rejection. And that is it. Okay, and a bit of a bounce in the pre-market. Look at this for a nice little bounce. Could we have, well, I wouldn't have taken this, I wasn't really watching it, but let's just analyze the footprints to see whether there's a potential delta flip or a, this is how we learn from. We don't need to take the trades, but we can look at pivots. It's a psychological number, pre-market low. It's also yesterday's low, so we've got two levels in the same place. That's why I like that down there for a bounce. I did say we like it for a bounce. I also like it for a break and retest short. So what we're looking for, there's two plays. We can play the delta flip, or we can look for exhaustion and then look for buyer strength. One of the ones I look is for a break, like a bottom pattern as well. We had it's pretty light volume really. A few delta divergences coming in. This is our first warning sign, a green candle. We're coming into 75.06. Psychological number as well, 7,500 nearby. So add that, it's in the zone. Small selling and then a bigger seller with lack of sellers at the bottom. Lack of sellers, so not really a delta flip because there's lack of buying and selling that candle. Look at the volume, really light volume now. So this is the low. We wouldn't have known that was the low at the time. We're looking for some sort of confirmation. Definitely not confirming here with really light volume down here. Looking for something, a delta flip here. We went from a red delta to a green delta, but low delta volume, still low volume. Just want to see whether we could have taken something. Inverse head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, maybe that's the right shoulder there, neckline, and then we broke out, retested, or you can use this as a break and retest on the micro scale. Remember, we're looking at a 10-tick chart, and now look at this. We first started seeing some buying coming in with more volume, so starting to see volume come in here. So that shows you intent from buyers. That's what we're looking for. So probably I would have been watching around this area. It's hard to say because obviously you're not watching live. And then we saw it push up. And that's our first red candle once we've broken out of that trend. Yeah, probably not that amazing. It's just a volume. But we're getting a lot more volume coming in. So it would have been a good confirmation seeing all this extra volume coming in had we got in. So maybe we would have found it if we were watching that area. What time was that? That was at 9 o'clock just as we started. Large orders today, 75.57 above and 75.94, 75.97, so there's a few there, and 75.15, 74.91 below. Nothing really of excitement, so nothing yet. Good morning, Sonny, welcome back. I think I said good morning to 212, and welcome back to anyone else. Again, it's an inside day today, so I'm not going to rush into it. We're going to wait for confirmation, be patient. It looks good for a long at the moment. We are coming into the VWAP, so not an amazing long right now. We might see a bit of rejection. Reason I know that is I've got my thumbnails open. This is what my thumbnails look like, by the way, on my top monitor. So I have all the different sectors: Nasdaq, S&P, ES, and SPX. Dow Jones, Russell, Bitcoin, which is selling off, gold, which is putting in a green candle, and oil. These are the ones I watch. These are the ones I am pretty good at predicting their levels because I see them all the time and I watch them all the time. But ES is the one I focus on the most, and then Nasdaq on my other accounts. While we're waiting for the market to open in 5 minutes, don't forget to whack that like button, please. We'd really appreciate that. The support helps brings in extra people and the YouTube algos. So don't forget, whack that like button. Hopefully start building the community up a little tiny bit. Remember, the more eyes we have on the market, the more trades and the more possibilities we may have. You know, what stuff I'm only looking at one real ticker, ES, maybe Nasdaq. Someone else, I know other people on here look at Tesla. Some other people look at oil, so it's good to have more eyes and more opportunities. So I want to start building this up a little tiny bit. I've added a few more extra trades in my trade database on the premium Discord. If you're a member, you'll be able to see them. Also, I've got a really good summer offer on right now, 50% off, and it's also 50% off everything. If I go to my, there's a, I'll just put the link in. Use code SUMMER26. So if you want to get Footprint Pro, especially now I've got all those extra enhancements in there and the performance enhancements, or you can buy everything forever for free, and that's $9.99, but it's actually 50% off right now, so that's good. You get everything, all my indicators, you get my ORB book as well, the playbook in there, the digital copy of it. You also get full lifetime access to the premium Discord. It's not listed, but I will add you in, so I'll also throw in lifetime discount to the premium Discord. So that's listed on the website at $9.99, and it's 50% off right now. Good morning, Ron. Welcome back. Good to see you. So just to remember, levels, I'm not looking to go short into 7,500. We want to break down below. So if we do break below pre-market low and yesterday's low, I want to see it break and retest, but I want to see it break 7,500. Look at that, it's just below. So that's not a lot short for me today. It doesn't matter how good the RBI is. I do not go short into key levels. I have done, and it's bitten me. I've done it live a few times over the last week or two. I've gone long into pre-market high, only to watch me stop out. So, and I always say don't go long or short into these key levels, but I still do it. So I'm trying to get better at that. You know, you think that's it doesn't matter how good the ORB setup is or how strong it looks, the key levels for a reason. And my trade yesterday, by the way, let me go back to my ORB. If you're trading with me yesterday, let me just go back. I had a target set as yesterday's high. Look at that. Yesterday's high was 75.51, and I was long. I took this beautiful long, this break and retest of orb, and I made sure my target was sitting at 75.51, just under there, and my out was literally high of the day. So, and if I went into greed mode, which I do sometimes, you know, I'm a human being, I even thought about it yesterday to start to trail up, but I didn't trail it. I just put my stop in place and I just let it run into it, and it hit it perfectly, and literally hit it and then rejected, pushed through, rejected, and look at that. It was happened to be the high of the day I got out yesterday, and I stuck to my 75.50. That's that key area we've been talking about. So that's a brilliant trade, and it's helping me get better at my getting in and holding. I used to be really good. Yesterday I was going through my trade plan from about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and it said on there my strength was holding. Now that's my weakness, can you believe? Market opens in 30 seconds. We should do a trading plan session, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's set one up one evening after the market. Maybe I'll set up where you can send me your trade plan, and I'll review one every single week. We'll do a weekly one. That's not a bad idea. And it'll be a random one. I'll pick and choose it and analyze it live. So if you're interested, let me know, and we can learn from everyone's trade plan as well. So market is now open. Just heard a bell. There's a new version of NinjaTrader, by the way, out today, so hopefully I don't have any issues. I've downloaded it, installed it. Look at that. When I say we do not go long into key levels, look at that. We rejected pre-market high literally within a tick of it. So can we get a momentum play on the open? I only want to go long over pre-market high. Only if we've got deltas looking good for that. We've got reducing delta on the seller, so it looks good for a long, but not while it's below pre-market low. Big strong delta, like to see that. Big positive deltas on the footprints. Here we go. So we're taking out pre-market high over 75.33. I'm looking for a long. I probably won't even take it as it breaks. I want to see some sort of confirmation after pre-market high. We're above the VWAP. Nasdaq's coming into the VWAP. Excuse me, by the way. So just be wary of that. 29,140. Big negative delta. Lack of buyers on the ask. Are we going to take them out on this candle? We have. Big positive delta. So now I like it long. I'm going to look for a long pretty soon. Got to get over that pivot. 75.33. Here we go. I'm going to go long now. Buying imbalances. This is good. Big aggressive delta. Let's see if we can get 10 ticks. Go on then. Big push up. Are we going to do it? Oh, did I get in too early? Small positive delta. Okay, I've hit my 10 tick stop. Small delta. Let's see. We hopefully don't get any follow through on the downside here. Still like it long. Still like the delta long. We're over pre-market high as well. Got some big orders coming in at 75.35. That's a little bit of liquidity above. Here we go. Big positive delta. That's a good sign. Big push then. Let's see us go. Come on, market. Let's go. Look at this. We've got 1,500 contracts, 2,200, 1,800, 1,400, 1,500 currently on this candle. I like it. Still like it long. We just need to make sure we get past this selling area. Nasdaq's just taken out VWAP right now, so I hope that will drag ES up with it. Want to see a big push up? Let's go. Taking out a pivot as well. Where's our next natural area? 75.50. That's the area I like. So I like it long into 75.50. Taking out that pre-market high pivot. Just not getting that follow through. Look at that. 672 aggressive buyers, but without the follow through. Ron says it's Asian low. So it's at the 75.50 Asian low. It looks like it, yeah. So it could be a reaction point. Doesn't look good. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of this trade right now. Still like holding this area of confidence, but didn't get the follow through we wanted. Let's see whether buyers take it back up again. You know, big negative delta with a bottom tail candle. I can see aggressive buyers coming in right now. A small red delta candle. But we get some negative deltas now. We're back at pre-market high area. This could be just a fake breakout. We didn't have the momentum we wanted. You know, we're looking for momentum. Do you know what? I'm going to cut it early. I'm cutting it now. Wasn't much earlier than my stop. So about 0.8R roughly. But I will wait. If we break back over that area again, I'll look to go long. Back over 35. Here we go. It's probably going to go now. Buying imbalances. Big positive delta. Okay, I'll get back in. This is where I got out. My 10 ticks at the bottom of this candle. All these buying imbalances. If we can't take out that, then it's not a good trade. Well, it's not going to work. Here we go. Taking out that. It's not going to work, is it? So I'm going to move my 20 tick to that point as well, because this is kind of like the area. Buying imbalances over here. That's where we got in earlier. Buying imbalances. We've got lots of buying imbalances right now, so we should see it break out, but we're not. This could be a break and retest of pre-market high as well. It's going to be another one of those days where you just don't get the follow through. Here we go. Buying imbalances coming in. Positive delta, small negative delta. That's why I like it long still. Big positive delta with a buying delta flip, small negative delta, big positive delta, a small positive delta on a red candle. So no signs that there's sellers here at the moment. Well, there is, because we're not breaking out, but maybe we're just absorbing these sellers. We're starting to see sellers kind of dry out. Delta's holding. We're not putting any lower lows on the delta. 320 delta on this candle. Here we go. This is the breakout we want. Let's analyze the numbers better. So small positive, big positive delta there. Look at this. We broke out and we just couldn't drive it through. Not much volume on that last candle though. Is this a low volume pullback? Hopefully. Buyers are coming in. You can see the buyers on this delta chart to the right. Nasdaq's struggling over that VWAP as well. So there's no real volume shelves in this area. 75.30 is an area where we're just not breaking through. So Nasdaq's back over VWAP. Here we go. So this is what I want to see. Just taking out. We just still want to take out the high of the orb that lasted that first 5-minute candle. And we're back down again. So small negative delta on that last candle as well. Bigger positive delta. A relatively small red delta. Or neutral delta, should I say. Do you know what? I'm not a big fan of this. I'm going to probably tighten up. We've got a line point control now. Is that where all the resistance is? If we get above it, I'll try and bring my 3 in a row now. So we know that's where there's volume. 75.34. We know that. Look at the confidence in that area. Bottoms of these candles, tops of these candles, and it's rejecting that area. Are we going to buyers come back in? Yeah, not looking good. Buyers are back again. Definitely this is a funny area right now. Are we going to break out over that confluence? Buying imbalances. You should expect all these buying imbalances to show some sort of follow through. One thing I didn't look at was any big orders sitting there. Okay, we're back over that area now. So I'm going to bring my stop up and tighten in now, only because I don't like this. I'm going to bring my stop actually to just below that align point control, just to minimize my loss if we sell off. So I'm keeping it very, very tight. Look at that. You can see this. Buyers come in, sellers sell it. Buyers come in, sellers sell it. And I'm out. I'm just out. Very close to break even now. I'm just going to hold off for a bit. Tough. Look at this now. We've got aggressive selling coming in now. Last 2 candles. So I took a smaller loss on that one. I think that was about half an hour. Not even that. A couple paper cuts. Let's just see. We are bouncing off this pre-market, and we do have the next candle form will be the ORB. Don't particularly want this 5-minute candle to be the ORB candle. I like to see more than one candle form it. Look at that area there. Big area consolidation. There's a battle right now. It's Christmas tree. green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red. Buyers push, sellers sell, buyers buy, sellers sell. So let's just analyze it for a little tiny bit, see what could be the outcome. Lack of buying here. You know, if I held my stop, I still like it long, and I'm still looking for the break long. But look at this, I'm putting in lower lows, slightly equal high there. I mean, sorry, lower low, lower high, equal lows. So kind of like a little flag pattern. So let's look at the else. I'm going to look at the volume. So it's pretty neutral. We've got 500 green, and then 50, 150, 43 green. Mainly buyers here. That's why I liked it long earlier. Sellers came in with no follow through to the downside. Sellers up here, buyers, yeah, it's very neutral in this area. And then we got pretty much neutral delta. Look at that delta, really, really thin candles. Volume wise, you're getting plenty of volume coming through. So, oh, look at that, NQ's climbing. So, but NASDAQ is not pulling ES with it. NASDAQ's hitting pre-market high. So I still like the long if we can break out over this area. That could even be the ORB long. Again, did I see we had Tesla and Google earnings later? So maybe the market's waiting for something. Small negative delta. Look at these smaller deltas now. So the long's looking good again now. So I'm going to be watching for the long over this consolidation area. It'll be over 75.36. Here we go. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, I'm looking for a long now. Waiting for the first. Just want to see what happens on this pullback. We'll see whether buyers come back into this candle. Okay, yeah, look at this big aggressive buy. So I'm going to go long now. Currently long. Took out that pivot there. And look at that lack of follow through. Big positive delta on the breakout as well. Big positive delta on this side as well. Small negative delta. So it looks good for the long. Let's just see whether we get the follow through we want. Buying imbalances on this candle, but lacking the follow through. We're putting a new orb high as well, by the way. So the opening range is going to be around that 75.40 area. Hopefully it breaks out because that's where my first 10 tick is. This is hard today, really hard. Just not getting that follow through you want. Look at this, we've got aggressive buyers coming in, but the price is not following. Delta's breaking out. Delta's breaking pre-market high. Here we go. So that's, I was about to say it's almost 10 ticks. I touched it, but it didn't fill me. But buyers will hit it. I can see it. Buyers are coming in. Touched it again. Touched it again. How annoying is that? 3 times it hit my 10 ticks. 3 times it didn't fill me. Come on, buyers, push it through. There you go, 10 ticks. As I'm not a big fan of this, I'm tightening up to that breakout candle. Target 75.50, that's an area I'm watching. Where's my 20 tick? 75.43, we should get that. Looking at the aggressive delta coming in. So I get a bit seasick zooming in and out, but I like zooming in and out to see what they are. I like just current footprints to previous footprints. Are we getting a follow through? Come on, buyers. Don't give up yet. I'm going to tighten to break even so I don't turn green into red. Probably too tight on it. But I want to see a breakout now. ORB is formed as well. This candle, notice decline in volume on those last 3 green candles. Not ideal really for a ORB. We want to see, but if this green candle hopefully gives us aggressive buying coming in, then we might see a breakout candle officially on this orb candle we're watching now. This is a break-in right now. So 212 says took some longs right at 20.75.34. Good job. That's a great job on the break and retest of pre-market. Yeah. Negative delta coming in. I'm not a big fan of this. It's probably going to tag me out. Big negative delta. I'm at break even, so I've got my risk controlling. Big positive 500 down and a delta flip as well, so that should be a signal for me to get out and just see what this candle does. See whether the buyers come back in. It look like they might be. Buying imbalances, come on in. No, I'm coming out. I'm out now. There you go, would have tagged me out anyway at break even. So I got a little bit better, got a little bit in profit. That's a decent, that was okay. Bit quick scalp, not ideal. Look at this, now the buyers are coming back. I have no issues getting back in again. So Andrew says, if you take away after hours pre-market data, ES just gap filled to yesterday's close from the open today. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I see that. So dilemma 1 is we got yesterday's high at 75.53 and we're currently sitting at 40. Can we get enough risk to reward on an ORB breakout to hit that? I think we should be able to. See, this is good. I like seeing this. Big aggressive selling and then smaller aggressive selling and then some buying, there's some buying, there's some buying. I still would have got tagged out break even, but we've got declining selling delta, which is a good sign, and then we've got positive delta. But then no follow through. Really tough at the moment, really tough. That's what happens when you're playing inside the ranges. You just don't get that follow through you want. So, is this an official breaking candle? Let's look at trading view. Trading view. Oh, it's right on the line. It hasn't broken above it. It's a tough one. This we've closed on the ORB high, so this is down to your own interpretation. The entry would be 75.42. The stop would be 75.37. That's about a 5 point risk, unless it invalidates. It's now invalidated, so it's not a play right now. So that's invalidated, so no ORB, even if you were going to take it, because it's taken out the low of that breaking candle. So look at this, positive delta on aggressive selling. Delta's selling. No more buyers at the high. No more buyers at the high. No more buyers on that delta flip high there. That's what got me nervous earlier. So I'm holding off now. Not a big fan. I do like the break and retest a pre-market high. I do want to see ORB break as well because it's broken the pre-market high as well. 212 says, I took some gold longs also. It may come back, but it looks bullish still. I think gold looks good at the moment. Where's my gold chart? Yeah, I like gold. I really want to take it long when it hits yesterday's high. I want to try and find an entry. It's breaking out of that monthly, weekly trend line. First signs of market structure change, but I want to get some confirmation first. Make sure I'm out of all my trades. Yeah, I am. That's good. So I'm looking for a potential long here. Again, I'm still pretty bullish. I like the delta right now. I like all this aggressive buying with these sellers absorbing, but I just want to see us take out the high. Lots of aggressive buying, but with the sellers absorbing all these buyers at the moment. I'm looking for the first signs of seller weakness. Like now. Here we go. I like it long. I'll keep an eye on ORB on my other account as well. Small 81 delta, buyers at the high. Still got sellers on this last candle. But we've got a nice aggressive buying delta candle coming in, which is good. It was a good sign. There you go. I always make myself wonder if I didn't have my stops in place and I just let it run. Obviously I wouldn't because it's too much of a risk. He'll be doing really well right now. My trades, usually my trades work quite well, even if my timing's not quite right. But the general direction is right when I say I'm going to go short or long. Okay, so we're breaking out. I'm looking for a long now. I'm now long ES. Just want to get the follow through now. Aggressive buyers coming in. Buyers putting in higher highs. Price is just putting a higher high. So going with the delta. We've got liquidity above. I can see it just coming up. We've got 55 yesterday's high. Ideally that's what I want to get it to, yesterday's high. It's probably going to get there. Look at this. So we go long and lack of follow through again. Let's see. Is this the last hurrah from the sellers right now? So I'm in the green on this trade now. Big push. Let's go. Let's go. Liquidity above. We can see it on this 5 minute above. 45. And then at 50, that's my kind of where I want to get to. Okay, I got my 20 tick way before 50, which is good. Big positive delta again, lacking the follow through. So sellers saying, no, we're not taking you up there. But maybe we've got these sellers sitting there. I like to think that buyers take it through that liquidity. 44, we've got liquidity sitting. Once we can take out 44. Next one's 45. Big positive delta on this candle with no follow through. Maybe I'm getting impatient. Here we go. Buyers taking out that liquidity. Look at that. Do you see that? A little bit of a quick move. Go on then. Let's push it then into that 55 area. Come on, you can do it. Delta putting in a new high. This is tough. Come on then. Big aggressive buying. Let's just see whether the buyers do take out these sellers now. There's a seller sitting here at 44. We can see him coming up. Here we go. This is what we want. 45. Boom. 10 ticks. Let's see us push up to that 50 area now. 47 should be quite easy if we can get to 50. Look at my hourly quickly. The only pivot we've got is yesterday's high, so keep an eye on yesterday's high. Come on then, one more little push. Look at this for aggressive buying coming in now. 780 in that one, 500 in this one. We've got to get the follow through from this. Big push up to 20 ticks. I keep calling it 40 ticks. I mean 20 ticks. And then we got liquidity at 40, 47, and then at 50. Not a massive amount, just a little bit. Here we go. 20 ticks. I'm break even now. So 50. I'm trailing, by the way, because 50 is a rejection area. 50 to 55. Yesterday's high. Where's my 80 tick sitting at 62? It'd be great if it gets to 62, but I'll be trailing tighter than that. I'm green for the day, whatever happens now. So this is a nice move. We saw all this aggressive buying coming in with no follow through, or all this aggressive buying coming in when we were on red candles with no follow through from the sellers. So that's kind of what made us want to get in at this area. 50 is just above. It is a psychological, it is an area we've been watching. Big aggressive selling coming in, so maybe that 50 is a sell point. I'm better than break even whatever happens. I didn't even look to see whether that's an ORB. No, equal volume. Was it on trading view? No, trading view didn't see it as an ORB. It's equal volume to the previous candle, so no ORB play. So the next play to watch for will be a break and retest of orb. So if it comes back down to 75.39, we can watch for longs. Nasdaq's looking strong now. Nasdaq's got some way to yesterday's high. We haven't got far to go for yesterday's high on ES. A few aggressive sellers coming in now. You can see on the Delta. We do have a Delta imbalance, a Delta flip there. So let's see whether this really is a Delta flip. I want to see it take out that Delta flip high. I want to get to 50 really, and then I'm going to trail 46. I might even just do that prematurely, because if we break that red candle, that's 2 red candles in a row. Come on in, buyers. Let's push it through. Here we go. I'm trading. I'm keeping it really tight up here, because 50 is an area. Here we go. We're over 50. Are we going to get that big reaction at 50, which I expect to see? A few sellers coming in. We had a bit of a reaction. So yesterday's high at 53.50 could be another area we might get to. 53.50. We haven't got any big orders until 54, 57. Here we go. I like this. This is good. So I'm now trailing these imbalances. I'm tightening it even further. Still holding at 50. We haven't broken through it yet. Oh, here we go. Big buyer came in then, pushed it through. 212 says gold's pumping, which is good. He's taking some off. Brilliant. That's really good. Gold is a good one today. Look at that. Yeah, gold looks great. Bit extended right now on the 15-minute, away from all the moving averages. We are on ES as well, so that's why I'm wary of it. It could be a top. Small negative delta. We've got buyers still at the high. No lack of buyers at the highs of these candles yet. So maybe the buying's not quite done with. But is this 2 negative deltas in a row? So 57 is the next area, and 54 yesterday's high. So we've got orders sitting at 54. We're definitely not getting through 50. You can see that every time I get to 50, look, there's a big seller sitting at 50. It gets there, rejects, gets there, rejects. You can see it here, there's not many on the book, but you can see them coming in. You go at 50 again now, 49, big seller come in. Going back up to 50 again, back down to 49. So there's a big seller sitting at 50 at the moment. I'm going to come out. I'm out. Probably going to break out, you know it. But it's pretty extended. Nasdaq's putting in a bit of a red candle now. Okay, I'm green for the day, which is good. Here we go. Our first sign of weakness at the high. 4 aggressive buyers here. We're back at 50 again. There we go. Now we break out. Of course we break out. Whoever's watching my stream, they're saying, right, he's out now. Oh, look at that. Did I say that? Look at that for a big reaction. I don't know if you saw that. We had a massive big negative, a big aggressive seller sell off there. So it makes me feel good about myself now. I'm glad I got out at 50, like I said. We knew there was a seller there because we could see it. You can see him coming into them. You can see him selling at 50, small orders, and then he had a big order with no reply. We know that. Look at all those zeros on the footprint on the ask. That means that seller sold and there was no buyers there for it. It just sold. So, and if you're a buyer right now, you'll see that thing. Oh, I'm not sure. Big fan of this. 75.45. It's just had a massive big order come in. 550. That one there. So there's a big buyer sitting there. Remember, market likes moving towards liquidity. All that liquidity below now, you can see it. Anything above, a little bit above. And we're coming into that area. So I'm done with my scalping today. 3 trades, 1 losing, 1 relatively break even, and 1 winning. So I think I'm at about a couple $100 per. I had a bit of slippage in some of these earlier as well. So I imagine it's around about $200 roughly. Let me have a look. Yeah, between 100 to 200, something like that. And here we go. Of course, it's going to break out. That's fine. I'm happy with my trading. You know, I said I'm watching for that 50 area, and that was my target. We are really extended right now as well, so we are due a bit of a pullback. Look at this, yesterday's high. I would have hit my target as well. That's what I was aiming for. Make sure I close all my orders actually. Yeah. Big push. Is that ending volume at a high there? Sometimes I find it harder getting out early and being left behind than making a losing trade. So I can just feel myself. I could just feel myself wanting to get in, thinking, "Damn, I missed it. I should have held on to yesterday's high." I did say that's what I'm watching. 75.53. I got nervous at 50. I kept seeing it reject, reject, reject. And then when I did get out, and especially when I saw that big seller there selling off the rest of his liquidity, and then the buyers just lapped it back up again. But we've got aggressive selling coming in now. This is typically a reaction point anyway. So this is when you just hands off, you sit back and you just watch. Here we go. Is that a delta flip? Big negative delta high. And this is how you control your accounts and why you don't blow your accounts. Just knowing when to stop, knowing when to take a trade and get out of a trade. You know, I was right, 75.50. That's an area we've been watching for weeks as well, so we know it's an area. It sounds like I'm justifying myself, but I am. Makes me feel better, especially now seeing it rejecting this area as well. It's a zone, don't forget, as well. So the next play will be the break and retest of orb. We know we've got big orders sitting down there, so the market might get driven down to that area. I must admit, one thing I didn't do, even though I didn't trail pivots. Should have trailed red, 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 red. Probably could have got a few extra points out of that. But anyway, that's a me issue, something I need to work out. Have you seen my new video on YouTube yet? Let me just dig it out. Textbook ORB plays, 2 of them. I mean, they were pretty much spot on. Get a link. I will put a link in the description here. It's literally a perfect ORB break and retest and a perfect ORB breakout. Look at that then. That makes my out feel good now. Massive negative deltas coming in now. Lack of buyers on the high of that one. Selling imbalances. 75.51, big order sitting there, 170. So just be aware of that. That's at 75.51. A little bit above. So there's a big seller sitting there. Right. Mo says, we'll definitely watch it today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely watch it. It literally was textbook. And when I say textbook, here comes my upsell. It was literally to the textbook as well, my ORB book. So if you haven't got it, I recommend getting hold of it. It's on Amazon. I had a really nice comment from somebody. I don't know if you're here today. They bought the book, and hang on, let me just read out the comment. I'm sure they won't mind. It was a lovely comment. Made my day. To the point where I made a screenshot of it. I'm hide the user, and I'm just going to put it on the screen now. It's not much to look at the moment. I'm watching for a break. So if you're on, if you're here on the live stream, say hello to me, or you don't have to. But your comment was lovely and made my day. So it's a good evening. I bought your premium membership after reading your book I bought from Amazon. Extremely well written book. I've read many books going into hundreds, but I can surely say yours is one of the best written, and I highly recommend it to anyone. Thank you. He says, I was finding your other books, none is available on Amazon, so there will be more on there soon. I've got 3 more volumes online. I'm writing volume 2 at the moment. So, and this user also bought lifetime access to all of my indicators and my premium Discord as well. So that's brilliant. I was well chuffed. I really, that's one of the made my day when I read your comments. So I appreciate that. It's nice. You know, it does take a lot of effort going into books. More for myself as well, because now I've got a strategy I can just refer to. Like go to page 7 if I'm feeling a bit lost. You know, we all get a bit lost or get a bit inundated with strategies and stuff. So now I've got something written down in front of me just to keep me on track and focus. So thank you very much for your comment, and also for now being a premium member. So here we are. I like seeing this. Look at this sell off. So let's just look at the 5-minute chart and analyze the volume for a minute. We were pushing up. Remember I said earlier we're pretty extended, which we are. We come back now, we're retesting the moving averages. But look at the volume. We had increased volume as price was breaking out. So it looks good for the long. That's why I liked it long earlier. Look at the pullback, decrease in volume. This is exactly to the book. So this is exactly what I want to see. So 212 says sellers coming in strong. I'm going to say slightly the opposite. I think the sellers are not coming in that strong. Despite what we're seeing on this selling off, I think we're going to see a bit of a bounce, decline in volume. If you play price, volume price, if you look at volume price analysis, this is exactly what we look for. Breaking out volume, decline in volume to a level. So we're coming into ORB. So the ORB play is now active. Even though it hasn't touched the ORB, I'm looking for a break of this red candle long over 75.45. Should better get 1.5 hour into yesterday's high. So we've got risk to reward above. We've got we're in this bit of a breakout on the 5-minute candle. We're in an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Do you remember when I said keep an eye on the 16-minute chart? You can see an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and this are we breaking and retesting right now? I'll maybe bring my NinjaTrader chart in. Here you go. This is my 60-minute chart. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline, break, and a retest. Now we're waiting. This is another confirmation we're waiting for. If we tap the ORB, that's even better, especially if we tap it on low volume. That's what we want to see. That means lack of participation. If sellers were going to intent on bringing us down, we'd be seeing increase in volume, not decrease in volume. That's how I see volume. That's how I read it. You know, everybody's got their own strategies. Everyone's got their own way of doing things. So bottom tail candle right on the orb high. So I'm looking for the next candle to break 75.45. Only getting in on a green candle. And then we can have other confirmations as well. For example, we're retesting a confluence area. We can wait for aggressive buyers to come in on the delta. We go with red all the way down, and now we're starting to see some green at the bottom. Also, I've got to say, I've not had any issues with any of my platform now. I'm literally about to spend £2,000 on a new PC, and then realizing it might not be my PC. It's actually, it was my indicators I built, my divergence indicator, my news and large order level. I realized I was updating it, even though it's been updated instantly on every tick, the same as I'm updating my Footprint Pro on the tick. So I've now changed it so it updates on the candle. So and also we don't need tick level updates on level 2 as well. So, and that's just enhanced the performance of NinjaTrader. So when there was a lot of data coming in, you know, a news event or something, those ticks were going mental, and NinjaTrader was trying to process everything on every single tick, which is why I was having issues. That's why remember I said I had no issues with Trader8, because on that chart I just have footprints on and that's it. I don't have anything else. News events happens every 15 minutes, so that wasn't a big issue. So I've literally almost went about buy all the parts for a new computer, a new graphics card, new motherboard, new RAM. RAM is really expensive, so I think just by sitting back and having to think about it over the weekend, it's kind of saved me a couple of grand, which is good. I don't want to be building another computer. So at the moment, even earlier when we saw that data come in, I saw it go out of date by about a fraction of a second and got live again. It literally processed it instantly. So I will be compiling all of the indicators shortly, and they will all be available on my WAP pretty soon. Here we go. This is the bounce, maybe at the low, breaking this 10 range downtrend, breaking the 2-minute downtrend potentially, with buyers at the bottom of that downtrend. Not enough aggressive buyers yet. So for me, if we break this candle 75.45, buy stop. I've got one tick above, and my stop will be the ORB high. It's not a bad place. So I might just make it just a little bit below. So I'm about to be triggered in now long on the break and retest of ORB on reducing volume. We had a higher volume candle on that last candle, but look at the bottom tail. Higher volume, but with buyers coming back into it. So any second it's about to trigger me in long, and then I'm going to put my stop in place. I always do one. Here we go. I'm now long ES on a break and retest of the orb, 15-minute orb high. Buying, look at this, another confirmation. Buyers are coming in now, which is good. Break of structure, and broke of the 5-minute structure as well. So let's go. Let's see it. Hopefully we see it push. Big bottom tail candle on Nasdaq, bounced off orb as well. That's already bounced. Let's just see some follow through. Some slightly green. So I'm just on the NinjaTrader website. I'm trying to find a way to modify their level 2 indicator. I want to put highlights in, so when it highlights large orders automatically. Battery low. How are we looking? Oh, it's not looking that great, is it? You know, I've got my stop just below the orb, so not only will we be breaking the buyout, we'll be breaking the orb as well. Yeah, and I'm out. So not quite sure. Make sure my orders are closed. Very small. I had a very small risk on that anyway, about a third of an R, I think it was, based on that 5.45. Yeah, about a third of an R. So no massive big deal. It looked good, especially when we bounced there. Look at this. That's a massive selling data coming in. So I don't know if that's a news event or something, but I'm pretty much done now. I think I'm not really interested in any more trades. What's going on? Not much. I think I'm going to be pretty much done for the day, I think. So technically, we've got 3 green candles and 4 green candles. No, we could still watch for the bounce, but I'm not a big fan of it now. It's been a really tough day today, really tough. So despite seeing that, look at these bottom tails and topping tails. Hard to find the scalps. Oh, excuse me. So sellers still coming in. Nice little bounce. Maybe could have found a scalp for orb, but I don't really scalp the bounce on orb. I only play the buy setup, which it triggered in nicely, and then whatever happened, we sold off. So 2 on 2. When he said sellers coming in strong, he was spot on. And that high of the day. Look at this one. This delta flip. Right at the high of the day. And another one at the high of that candle on that pullback as well. Failed one. Oh, excuse me. Right, I've been on for over an hour now, so I'm probably going to be calling it a day. I'm not going to do any more trades. I'm green on my scalp accounts. I'm small red on my my 250k account. It's days like today's when you want the small red days, especially when you're inside the range. How about that for a reaction at yesterday's high then? massive reaction, and that's why we watch it. 75.55 as well. Let's go back to my chart, my levels. I'll just show the levels I had set up as well. Look at that, absolutely smack bang on. We've been watching that level for some time, 55 down to 50. I've had 55 marked up for some time now as well, based on confluence areas. Look at this, tops and bottoms of pivots, areas of confluence, rejection there, rejections here, rejections there, big area of volume shelf as well. That's why I've had it such a long time. That's going back to June. I think it goes back, those levels go back to that right left shoulder as well, back in May. So it's an area we've been watching for some time. That's why it's an area I watch every day. 212 says, awesome day, good stuff, thank you. And then getting a bounce at VWAP here possibly. Likely pre-market high as well. So this could be the air gap break and retest of pre-market high. So when I say air gap, you could have said that was an air gap there. It was very small, didn't really touch it, but this is an air gap. So the big gap, and it's a nice uniform. This looks like algo trading. Nice uniform move up, nice uniform move up. This is 45 degrees angles in both directions. What I don't like seeing is when it breaks out on one candle, comes back on the next candle, retests, and then, you know, is that a break and retest? It is technically, but I like to see this air gap here, this big air gap. So that's why I call it an air gap break and retest. So this is a valid entry as well. It's also a valid entry if I wanted to take it on my pre-market, on my 250k account. A break and retest a pre-market high. Again, it's pre-market high, there's a VWAP there. We've got ES, NASDAQ coming into opening range high as well. And the VWAP I think is catching up with NASDAQ as well. But I'm probably not going to take anything, so I'm going to call it a day. Remember, if you do trade A+ setups only, news right now, by the way, oil news, is it oil? Crude oil inventories, 10:30 right now. What's oil doing? Not doing much, but just be wary of that. And I will be back tomorrow, 9 AM. So appreciate everyone watching. I'll leave my main screen running. I'm going to flick it over to my other monitor so I can work on my main screen. It's now moving across to my left screen, so you won't see it for a second. I'm just loading it now. Sorry, I realised my mic was off. I was chatting away. I was going to say, if you have my indicators, then I'll be putting a new update today. So the new update will be all the performance announcements on the WAP store. So appreciate everyone. So thank you to Sunny, thank you to 212, thank you Mo as well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching.